What is wrong with all of these things? They're all made for right-handed people. I get it. 90% of the population is right-handed. So I totally understand why everything is made for them, but it does not make it any easier for artists. On a clipboard like this, okay, well, I have to take the paper and put it like this so I can actually write on it. I have to put it upside down on the clipboard. So every time I go to a doctor's office or any place like that and I have to fill out forms, they hand you a clipboard, upside down. Next thing is this notebook. Okay, you can't write with these things in the way. So I always have to take the paper out to actually write. And this is a small notebook. Those big 3-inch things, no way in the world could I ever use them. And I just realized this the other day. This spine here in my sketchbook totally screws up my world. Yesterday, I was drawing this, and this post right here, my hand kept going over the spine on the sketchbook. I don't want to tear it out because I like to keep it all together. So in the future, I'm probably going to be turning my sketchbook upside down so my hand's not banging on the spine. And we all know about the scissors. Oh my gosh, the scissors. If you can find a pair of left-handed scissors, they cost a fortune. So anyway, I've been down a long rabbit hole on researching left-handedness. And these are just a few of the things that I have learned. Boys are more likely to be left-handed than girls. Boys are 12.9%, girls are 9.9% left-handed. Although in our family of 6, we have 50% left-handers, and 2 of those are girls. In an article by Aaron Hager from March 7th, 2023, the Business Insider, Hager addresses the differences between left and right-handers and how they think. The main points of the article, there are 3 main points, and they are: brain scans indicate that left-handed people think differently than right-handed people. Well, who needed a study for that? Of course. Lefties tend to activate the right half of their brain more for certain tasks and functions. And experts suggest that this difference in brain function could make creativity come more easily. The article refers to several studies that explain how the brain works. According to Eric Zillmer, a professor of neuropsychology at Drexel University, the left side is generally associated with speech, writing, math, language, and comprehension, while the right side controls creativity, musical skills, and artistic expression, to name just a few of the functions among many on that side of the brain. In Zillmer's study, he examines the brains of right and left-handed people in active situations. Since speech is a left brain, well, it's at least thought to be a left brain activity, he looked at MRIs of both groups as they were spoken to. According to his study, Zillmer saw that right-handers' brains lit up on the left side when they were spoken to, but left-handers' brains lit up on both sides when they were spoken to. And that's when they light up on one side or the other, that's called brain lateralization. And so left-handers have less lateralization, and they use both sides of their brain more. Now, if the left side is supposed to light up during speech and math and things like that, for a left-hander, they actually use both sides of the brain. The right side is supposed to be about creative things, but both sides of the brain actually light up when they are talking about that. So Zillmer said one of the reasons, he goes into a very long explanation about why that is so, And I'm going to break it down. One of the ways he said was because of what left-handers have to do to navigate the world, like everything being made for right-handers. It does seem to open up more possibilities for left-handers to think outside the box. Some famous left-handed artists are Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, pretty good company right there, I'm thinking. Thomas Kincaid, Leroy Neiman, Mozart, Jimi Hendrix. Zillmer suggests that one reason why lefties use both sides of the brain at the same time is the way we have to navigate the world built for right-handers. As a lefty, this makes perfect sense to me. Common items that students use every single day, including the desks and the things like I just showed you, the notebooks, the scissors, pencil sharpeners, all those, all built for right-handers. A lefty first has to figure out how to use the thing and then actually use the thing. Even school desks that have the desk and the chair connected are built for right-handers. Left-handers lay out their stuff completely differently. And so as a kid in school, I could never quite figure where can I put my notebook. If I've got my books here, there's no room for my notebook to actually take notes or anything. It was, and I did not attribute that to being left-handed. I had no idea what the problem was. I knew I didn't fit into that desk right. I was always happy when we had desks that had chairs aside from the desk. It took me quite a while to even figure out I needed my palette on the left-hand side of me on a table or whatever. A notebook, a sketchbook, even a clipboard were created for right-handers. And even picture directions like crocheting or knitting directions, sewing patterns are all written for right-handed people. And so it's tough to try to figure out, when you're looking at the picture directions and now you have to flip them and then turn them before you can actually start to learn how to do it. Whew, that was challenging for me. I started sewing really early. My mom was a right-handed person, struggled to teach me how to do anything like that. And I struggled with the picture directions because they were backwards for me and they were completely different. I know many artists are right-handed and they are extremely accomplished and creative. As the only lefty in my family as a kid growing up, I know we do think differently. I married a lefty and one of our 4 children is a lefty, and there are differences. Some I can attribute to being a southpaw and others I cannot. As a working artist and art teacher, I don't put a lot of stock into lefties being more creative. I am also not a believer that only those with talent become great artists, regardless of which hand they create with. I belong in the camp that painting and drawing are skills, and the more you practice with a purpose, the better you will be. You can learn a skill, you can practice a skill, and you can improve on a skill. And the more you do those things, the better you're going to be. As a lefty, you may have an advantage, the way our brain works. So finally, we get an advantage. I do find it interesting that lefties' brains do actually work differently than righties, and why that could possibly improve creativity. I have a free printable beginning artist bundle for every beginning artist out there. It teaches you things like perspective, and then it teaches you how to make a plan, how to use the perspective, all different sorts of things, and it's all free, printable, downloadable. Every beginning artist should get this and keep it with their art notes. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to love the one I'm going to put up here. Or maybe it's over here. I'm never sure of where it's going to show up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And knowing that it's never too late to start learning how to paint. And it has nothing to do with your talent or which hand you are. You can learn, you can practice, and you can improve. Let's paint together real soon.